The Lebanese cabinet's recent move to task the army with restricting weapons exclusively under state control while endorsing a US-backed disarmament roadmap has been presented in Beirut and abroad as a step toward one state, one army. But the measure is politically reckless, as it depends on guarantees that history and current realities show are fragile at best. Lebanon's official acceptance of a US proposal premised on Israel halting strikes, withdrawing from positions inside Lebanon, and offering verifiable guarantees places Lebanon's security and sovereignty in the hands of actors with a long history of non-compliance. That explains why Hezbollah's political leadership publicly condemned the decision, calling it a grave sin. The refusal stems from a rational assessment of who actually enforces guarantees in this case, and from hard-earned experience with unilateral Israeli action. The core problem is practical. When the Lebanese government asks the US to act as a guarantor, Washington claims it cannot compel Israeli operational choices, as we all know by now. Even US mediators concede limits to American leverage over Israel. US envoy Tom Barak went so far as to say the US cannot force Israel to do anything, admitting that the ceasefire agreement reached at the end of November has not succeeded. He even said there are no guarantees to Lebanon at all.
I don't know what guarantees you're talking about. Well, we can't compel Israel to do anything, can we?
Even Israeli officials and experts repeatedly assert that even if Hezbollah were disarmed, Israel should retain the 5 positions within Lebanon under occupation. So it is only fair to say that any roadmap requiring non-Lebanese party to both stop operations and withdraw from positions inside Lebanon must answer the enforcement question. Who imposes and verifies Israeli compliance when they themselves say it will not happen? Without a credible, rapidly deployable mechanism and without demonstrable, verifiable Israeli steps up front, Lebanon would risk surrendering leverage in exchange for nothing more than the uncertain promise of foreign assurances. That is why many Lebanese observers describe the cabinet's decision as trading Lebanon's most tangible deterrent for paper guarantees. History explains why such skepticism is legitimate. Israel's repeated assaults on Lebanon have long undercut trust, if it ever existed. The 1982 invasion and prolonged occupation of southern Lebanon left an unforgotten legacy of brutality. Israeli aggression on the country, such as Operation Grapes of Wrath in 1996, left mass civilian casualties and prompted international condemnation, especially since informal ceasefire understandings failed to produce lasting protections for Lebanese civilians. To demand that one side demobilize, while the other retains the unilateral capacity to strike, is to place a one-sided burden on domestic actors while external parties retain practical freedom of action. The US proposal, even if well-intentioned in theory, asks the Lebanese state and society to take a leap of faith, for which no credible assurances exist. It is worth remembering that Hezbollah was founded in 1982 in response to the unprovoked Israeli invasion of Lebanon. And now, over 4 decades later, the US and Israel seek to eliminate Hezbollah's arms of deterrence once and for all, handing Israel complete reign over Lebanon, with empty guarantees, if any. Simply put, for those who lack context, it's like having a serial killer with a very, very long criminal history standing at your door and assuring you they won't hurt you if you submit and surrender your only means of self-defense. If the decision moves forward without solid guarantees or enforceable mechanisms, the country risks leaving itself vulnerable to renewed aggression without a reliable shield. This could deepen Lebanon's instability, embolden external interference, and undermine national cohesion. In fact, eroding Lebanon's deterrence capacity may spark internal tensions as society loses confidence in the state's ability to protect it. Without a credible framework ensuring Israel's compliance and accountability, Lebanon risks exchanging real defense capabilities for empty promises, perpetuating a cycle of insecurity and crisis. The path ahead demands caution, not haste. Otherwise, Lebanon will pay the price for trusting guarantees that have repeatedly proven illusory.